I think we've got burnout not all wrong, but very wrong in society at the moment, and it's something I want to just tell a few stories around. And particularly one of my clients working in Europe, a really successful company, drove herself into the ground, let's say. At some point experienced what you could describe as a kind of mental break. Ran out of energy, ran out of confidence, a lot of anxiety, and that was the time at which, it was not necessary for her to take a step back. It was called burnout, and it was time for recovery. Except that the way I broadly feel that society is framing this challenge is one of that at this point now there's a process of rest, let the adrenals recover, and slowly make your way back into the working environment, but try please not to bring too much stress into your life, because that might just trigger this thing again, because now, having experienced this thing, you have some kind of predisposition to experiencing it again. And again, not all of that wrong, but I feel like it's flawed fundamentally. One of my clients so beautifully put it: George, my life fell apart, and I don't know if I really want to put it back together in the same way that it was assembled before. And I love that description, because the provocative offering that I want to put forward here is that burnout is the furthest thing from a bad thing. In fact, I want to say it's a divine thing, because eventually your soul's intelligence has created the circumstances and context in which you can eventually listen to it. And so when we orientate towards burnout in a way that says, could this be divinely timed? Could this be something that is for me? We have a totally different relationship with it, and we can let it be the beginning of the rite of passage that the second half of life typically requires, which is a kind of break from what we previously knew and previously thought was the way things are. So there you go. Burnout is fantastic. It sucks. It's temporary. It's not it's not who we are. We don't now have a predisposition to the anxiety or the relationship towards stress. No. Once through the burnout, when framed correctly and healed correctly, David White beautifully put it: the antidote to exhaustion and burnout is not rest, it is wholeheartedness. When we listen to our soul's voice, when we have the courage to pursue the things that truly and deeply feed us, when we have the self-knowledge to know what roles in society bring us to a place of being able to express our greatest gifts, that generate the most trust in others, when we do that, we relish stress and we relish challenge, and we are renewed in our confidence in ourselves to take on big goals. But when we are stuck in a, let's say, more secular, I don't know a good description of it, or just constrained and, in my view, incorrect understanding of burnout, our future potential is just can be constrained heavily as a result, and we can be stuck in a cycle of trying and repeating this sort of re-entry process, and instead, it's just wrong. There's just such a better way. So there you go. Cheers.